Greetings, mortals. Jared Petty here. I'm joined by
Tate Phoebe.
And we're looking at Hearthstone, this time at the Construct Quarter. And specifically, which battle are we looking at here, Tate?
We're looking at Heroic Thaddius.
All right. Now, Heroic Thaddius has a couple of... Oh, right there we see things start out at a real disadvantage.
Yep. Right away, he summons his two friends, Stalag and Fuegan. So we actually go with the Warlock deck because it gives us the best options to deal with this. So you see the two Corruption spells. Really great draw. That's kind of what you're looking for. Corruption, Soulfire, Nerubian Egg, anything that can kind of get you 4 damage on the board and start dealing with those minions as early as possible.
Right, because even though you're still at a large health advantage, and by the time you're done with that, a tremendous card advantage, you've still gotten rid of those 2 humongous threats, and without doing that, you just don't have a chance in this match.
Yeah, this fight can fall apart really quickly. If you do not take care of Stalag and Fuegan basically in the first 3 or 4 turns, by then you're dead because there's 11 damage coming in every turn.
Okay, so now that you've taken care of those, your next step is to try to catch up here. Now, we've already talked about those two fellows starting the game. Oh, look there, he's using one of his several removal effects he has available, right?
Yeah, this deck that you go against, that Thaddius plays, has a ton of Shaman removal spells, so it's actually really efficient removal for him. Lightning Storm, Forked Lightning. We're really just trying to get minions on the board at this point in the game to kind of take over and really gain control of the match.
All right. Now, in addition to what he has available for removal, his strategy once he loses his 2 buddies when it comes to damaging you, what tools is he going to use?
Yeah, he's going to play a lot of Death Rattle minions. So outside the removal, it's Zombie Chow, as you can see. He's going to play the Shade, which gains +1/+1 in stealth every turn. And in addition to that, he's going to play Sledge Belcher, and that's really the one of the more problematic minions he plays because it's so durable and it's so hard to get through and start doing damage to him. That when you see that, you got to just kind of hope you have the right cards in hand.
Now, we're kind of glad to see a zombie out there on the board because that gives us a bit of a needed respite there with the 5 life. That's one of the small allowances we get. Now, we haven't even discussed his other mechanic, the same one he had in his regular battle, plays out again in the Heroic. And what's that ability?
Yeah, so what you've probably been noticing this whole fight is at the beginning of his turn, he casts a Seer ability, which costs 0 mana. We highlighted in the class challenge, and what it does is it flops the health and attack of a minion. One of the kind of unique traits of that is that when he does that, you can use stuff like Direwolf Alpha or anything that buffs the attack of adjacent minions, and buffed attack actually flips into permanent health. So that's how we kind of got that 1/1 Nerubian Egg out there.
Right.
So we'll actually see it come into play a little bit here with this Direwolf.
So the Direwolf turns them into 2/1s, and since everything on the board's going to flip next turn because he always uses that ability.
Yep. The buffed attack turns into permanent health. So what you'll see is this 5/4 Nerubian we have out there. When he flips it, it's going to become a 5/5.
Yep,
because that 5 attack becomes 5 health, and then you're buffing the 4 attack into 5 attack.
So you can really abuse that wolf for one of the small advantages you can pull off in this game.
Yep.
So you've got the wolf, you've got Nerubian Eggs, of course, because they're 0/2 and become 4/4 every time he flips the board. What else you got in here? Removal, those guys, anything else?
Yeah, we have a lot of Death Rattle cards. We haven't highlighted it yet, but it is a budget deck, so it only runs commons and rares, and there is 3 legendaries in the deck, but all the legendaries are ones that come with Naxxramas. So it comes with, it runs Fuegan and Stalag, and as well as Baron Rivendare, who causes Death Rattles to trigger twice, which is actually a huge help in this fight. If you, depending on what order your cards come in, but if your Harpist Golem dies, you're going to get 2 tokens out of it. If your Nerubian Egg dies, you're going to get 2 4/4s. It can really take a lead and get it, kind of snowball it quickly.
So by the time you're dealing with Thaddius, you're going to have access to those legendaries and be able to build this deck. That's kind of wonderful. We'll get I'll try to get a layout of this deck out on IGN Wikis then. Oh, there's a Loot Hoarder popping out. And at this point in the game, we've gained a card advantage, finally caught up with him, and the only place ahead of us now is life. So what can go wrong here, Tate?
Yeah, the only real thing that can go wrong, so gaining advantage in the fight is the biggest challenge. He's extremely hard to kind of get through his cards because you start at such a disadvantage when you deal with those 2 free huge minions that he plays. But once we get to this point, really what we're trying to do is just keep advantage on the board. And Lightning Storm is the biggest problem. So the board we have right in this game is actually pretty good because we have 2 minions, one at 6 health, one at 4 health. Those are guaranteed to survive a lightning storm. But he can kind of reset the whole game really quickly.
Mm-hmm. So looking at what we see out in front of us right now, anything in particular you want to point out?
Right now, it does. So this deck does run the Void Caller, which is the Warlock card with the Death Rattle. It actually doesn't come into play too much. It's more because it's a very durable 3-drop minion. And then the rest of it, Undertaker is one of the cards that can really snowball this deck quickly. If you get the right draw, every time, it's a new card from Naxxramas. Every time you play a Death Rattle card, he's going to buff 1/1. So you see, gets +1/+1 there, helps it survive that damage, and now at this point, the game's really well under control.
Yeah, it looks like you're just about to take it here. There's not a whole lot that could go seriously wrong looking at the cards available to him and what you've got, right?
It is a pretty challenging fight, though. We got off to a great start in this game. The 2 corruptions are huge. Soulfire, Corruption, and Ruby and Egg are definitely the MVPs, so you're looking to see those. But once you kind of overcome those 2 initial minions, and if you can dodge a couple of devastating lightning storms, at this point we're just going through the motions.
Yep, and looks like going to wipe him off the board here next turn. Well, thanks so much, Tate, for your help with this. Folks, so we hope you leave your decks in the comments and on IGN Wikis and any other place you might see this. We appreciate you watching. And Tate, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
And looks like we're about to put things to an end here. So, folks, for all your Hearthstone needs, keep it locked to your friends here at IGN. Bye-bye. See ya. And adios.